welcome to the Redefine Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I just want to give you an update on what's going on with all my socials, right? Well, not just socials, but also with YouTube and with this podcast. Just to give you an update, in case you might be experiencing some of the same things that I'm experiencing on these platforms. Now, I know in the past we've talked about how the vanity metrics, right? The followers, the number of followers, the number of likes, the number of views and things like that aren't necessarily the primary, indicator of the health of your business. However, I think it's important to, at the very least, have a general idea of these things because the way I see it, your content and your content strategy, that's the front end of your marketing funnel. And so if there are things that you can adjust and make better with your content strategy, then that makes the rest of your funnel that much more effective. But you won't know what to adjust if you're not paying attention to the metrics, right? So again, it's not the main indicator, but it's important to have an idea, right? So let's start with Instagram. Instagram has just been a pain. It's been a thorn in my side, the bane of my existence. They just recently implemented a paid verification program. So I don't know if this had any effect, but like I've been really having a hard time with with Instagram, even before this program rolled out. Now, I don't know anything about the program itself. I don't know if it's affecting, discoverability and if it's affecting views and all that stuff in terms of pushing verified content in front of more people. However, again, for me, I've been struggling with Instagram for months now. The views have been really, really low. The following hasn't grown at all, and so I don't know. I've started following a couple of individuals who are Instagram coaches and teachers of specific strategies to help improve your Instagram. We'll see what happens. One of the things that I saw recently, and I think this is a great piece of advice, is that growth on Instagram isn't linear, right? So, you might have one post that does really well. You might have another post that just tanks. You can't really tell, right? The main thing is you stay consistent and post every day. So I've upped my post to twice a day on Instagram, and I'm actually trying out a couple of the strategies that I'm learning from these individuals. It's made my Instagram a little bit more scattered than it was before, but I think that's okay. In the past, my content has been relatively narrow. The niche has been pretty narrow. And so maybe this will broaden it out to more audiences. We'll see. It's just one of those, we just got to keep going and keep trial and error. Again, showing up consistently, I think, is the biggest and most important thing for all of these platforms, as a matter of fact. Now, the next thing is Facebook, very similar to Instagram as far as my content strategy. Actually, I share most of the same content onto Facebook as well, especially the short form stuff. I do also actually include the occasional live and a little bit more content on Facebook, right? On Instagram, twice a day. On Facebook, 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day. And Facebook has just been, it's been my bread and butter. It's the platform that I've been on the longest, and I have the most influence with the audience that I already have built over the years on Facebook. And so, yeah, it's just working out really well for me. The engagement is very high. The views and all that stuff is very high. The following hasn't really grown dramatically, but I think that's just going to come in time as long as I stay consistent, and I still have increased visibility. So when I started going live on January 1st, about 20 days into that, I started getting increased visibility, right? And so I'm at about 75 days of increased visibility. So I'm trying to maintain that. And I think that's going to really continue to help my engagement and help my reach expand. So yeah, Facebook has been really, really great for me. It's also, just as another, side note of what's really worked well, all the traffic that I've gotten with the classes that I've taught recently, the influencer masterclass back in March, and then the network marketing in the digital age that I just taught last week. All of that traffic came from Facebook. It came 100% from Facebook. So yeah, Facebook works. Facebook works, and none of that traffic was paid traffic. It was all organic. So yeah, really really effective. And of course, I'm going to continue to pour into it because it's working. Why stop, right? Why stop? Let me just see what I can tweak. Again, looking at the metrics, see what I can tweak, see what I can improve, and then continue to drive traffic to the things that I'm rolling out this year. So Facebook gets a thumbs up from me. And there are people that say Facebook is dead. It's really not. It's really not. That's ridiculous. None of these platforms are dead, and I've already talked about that before in the past. TikTok is the next one. Actually, a sleeper hit. I don't give TikTok a lot of attention. It's just kind of there because I'm putting together the short form content anyway. And so might as well upload it to TikTok. And I have to say, TikTok, the growth that I've seen on TikTok has been surprising, I pick up 1 to 2, sometimes even up to 5 followers a day on TikTok. Let's say, in a week's time, I'm picking up maybe 10 to 15 new followers on TikTok. So it's surprising. That's really encouraging for me because I'm expanding my reach to an audience that I never had access to in the first place, right? This is a brand new platform for me. I just hit my 1-year anniversary, I think in February. So yeah, really, really fresh, really, really new. And I've only been, consistently posting every day there, for the last, I don't know, 3 to 6 months. So it's working. My followers since the beginning of the year has gone up. I can't remember off the top of my head now the exact number, but it's definitely I definitely notice the growth there. The views are starting to steadily grow as well. I mean, it's been very very consistent, as opposed to, of course, Instagram, which is just it's nonsensical, right? The metrics on Instagram are so hard to read because it's all over the place. Whereas TikTok, it's very stable and it's very predictable. So I like TikTok. I'm going to try to pour more attention into TikTok because it's been so good to me. Okay, so next is YouTube. Now, YouTube, I love YouTube just because I've been on YouTube actually the longest. I got on YouTube before Facebook was even around. However, SEO SEO is just my Achilles heel. I can't, my brain doesn't work in SEO, right? Like the creative part of me wants to just create and wants to just write without the constraints of having to think about being search engine optimized. And so that's really been, it's really been what's a disadvantage for me on YouTube, but it's grown. I think the sheer amount of content that I have on there. I mean, I'm posting 1 new video a day, this podcast, and then I'm doing the short form every day. So it's at least 2 pieces of content every day on YouTube. And so I think just the sheer volume of content that I have up there is allowing me to gain some momentum. My subscriber base has definitely grown. My views has definitely grown on YouTube, and again, I think that's largely because of the amount of content that I have. I think the more content that I put on there, naturally the views are going to increase because YouTube has a very long shelf life, right? It's a search engine, so I'm going to start looking more at optimizing my SEO, and here I go. I'm gonna really rely on AI, GPT, to help me do that. I know ChatGPT, one of the functionalities, or one of the things it can do is help you SEO, right? Help you with search engine optimization in your content. So I'm gonna use it for that. I have a larger and longer conversation about ChatGPT and AI for the next episode. So we'll save that. However, I think, for me, because SEO is my weakness, now that there's a tool that can help me kind of improve that aspect of my content strategy, why not? So yeah, more to come, more updates to come with YouTube. I do still love it. It's just that, for me, I can't, my brain doesn't talk in SEO, right? It doesn't talk in SEO. And then of course the last thing is this podcast. This podcast has done very well. It's consistent. The views, not the views, the listenership has definitely increased. Which I guess in podcast speak, it's the downloads. So yeah, I mean, it's steadily happening. Now, I did notice a shift when I did the rebrand, right? So doing the rebrand, I think expanded my audience a little bit. The title of the podcast originally was pretty narrow. I mean, Path of the Network Marketer. It's only for network marketers. So rebranding it to Redefine, I think really opened it up a little bit. So I've definitely seen an increase in downloads with the podcast. And of course, I mean, we talk about a lot more than just network marketing. So it's really working. And with the particular hiccups that I've had the last couple of weeks with my tech and with traveling and being in Mexico and all that stuff, I'm at least home, and I've stopped using those wireless mics. At least for now. I don't know what's wrong with those things. I just have to, I think, buy better microphones. So I'm back to the corded earbuds, better sound quality, anyways, and there's no grounded buzzing and buzzing noise. But yeah, I'm really pleased with where the podcast is going. I have made the commitment, since I'm already well into the 200s. I've made the commitment of doing this for an entire year and seeing how it goes, seeing what else what comes of going an entire 365 days straight of publishing a piece of content on a podcast. I don't know that it's been done. So it's just kind of one of those things. I'm already more than halfway there. I'm 2/3 of the way there. So I might as well keep going. Let's go for a Guinness book. But yeah, it's definitely, it's attracting more listeners. It's attracting more audience. So yeah, I encourage you, for those of you who like podcasting or are interested in podcasting, it's a great place to start with content. It really is. I love that space. Okay, so that's my update. Again, it's really just a matter of, I primarily share this with you to in case you might be experiencing some of the same things that I am, then you'll know that you're not alone. And really, to encourage you to keep track of this stuff, but don't let it be your primary focus, right? Just have a general idea of what's happening with your online content and your content strategy, because it does affect the rest of your funnel, right? If your content strategy is ineffective, then the rest of your funnel is going to be largely ineffective. Now, of course, that doesn't speak to paid traffic. This is just free traffic and content driven traffic, organic traffic, so to speak. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. If you have any questions or if you have any tips, things that might be working for you, I would love to hear about it. And the best place to have a further discussion about this stuff is the Redefine community, formerly Path of the Network Marketing community, but now it's Redefine community. You can go to facebook.com/groups/redefine community. The link is in the show notes of this episode. But yeah, it's a great place. Again, my intention for that was to create a community that will support you in your entrepreneurial journeys. Well, really a place where we can support each other, right? Because as entrepreneurs, especially as digital entrepreneurs, we're a lot of times on our own, and it can feel very isolating. And so that this community, it's here to support you on your journey, as well as you being able to support other people, right? Like I said, I would love to hear what's working for you, because especially for Instagram, right? Because that's been just such a pain in my ass. So yeah, come join us and let's talk further. Again, it's facebook.com/groups/redefine community. The link is in the show notes of this episode. And then beyond that, of course, we'll catch you tomorrow with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.